Hello friends, welcome back to the Fitness for Gamers and Streamers podcast. Still Chris here, thank you for joining me once again. And today we're going to talk about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart and should be to yours too. This is resistance training and in brackets strength training, which are the same thing, but one sounds more appealing than the others to certain populations. And today we're going to talk about what resistance training is, who it's for, why you want to do it, and how to get started practically. So quite a lot to cover. I'm probably going to speak quite quickly, which would not be a change. So bear with me. So we're going to start off with what is resistance training or strength training. It sounds intimidating, but any resistance training is any form of exercise using an resistance, which doesn't sound surprising, but this can be commonly a weight in the gym. It can be a barbell, it could be a dumbbell or a weighted machine, a cable, but it can also be an elastic band. It can also be using your body weight at home or anywhere else. So it's very accessible. You don't have to have access to a gym to do resistance training, which is very fantastic. You can do it from home. So no excuses on that front. So who is it for? Strength training, resistance training is for absolutely everyone. Most commonly people think I'm too old for resistance training. I'm here to remove that excuse, unfortunately. The older you are, the more important it is for you to do strength training. Which sounds like a paradox, but stick with me, it makes a lot of sense. As you get older, past your 40s, your body will naturally lose muscle, lean tissue every year, okay? That's what happens. Your body becomes less active, becomes older, you'll lose muscle. You need to actively counteract this by building some muscle with strength training. It doesn't mean lifting huge weights, doing heavy barbell squats. It doesn't mean having screaming chalk everywhere. It means just actively moving your body, deliberately doing progressive overload slowly over time, as we covered yesterday. I wrote a better article on that, by the way, on my website. That's much more succinctly put. It's more important to keep your body fit and healthy because strength training, resistance training, whilst it sounds like bodybuilding, you don't want to be a bodybuilder, I'm sure. Well, you might want to. What you don't want to be a bodybuilder, you want to actively build your body. This means adding strength, adding muscle, and resistance training doesn't only affect your muscles, it affects your joints, gives you more stable joints by strengthening the muscles around a joint. It gives you stronger bones by resistance training as well. So that's really important as you get older, women approaching the menopause particularly. Weakened bones makes you more frail, makes you less able to do things you want to do. So resistance training is really key, not just for now, but for building strength for the future, build up a bank of strength and muscle for the future. And it keeps you doing the hobbies that you like to do, the activities you like to do. So this could be working in the garden, it could be gardening, it could just be playing with your kids or your grandkids in the future. You don't want to be the person who's not strong enough to be able to do things. And on a more extreme point, it also goes to things like keeping your independence. As you become older, if you fall down, be able to get up again, being strong enough to do that. I'm not saying that cardiovascular fitness isn't important in this as well, because it absolutely is, but I think resistance training is majorly undervalued in all populations, especially in older populations. So if you're an older person, you want to get into exercise, start resistance training. I think resistance training is perhaps the most accessible form of training because you can start with any point. You can start with the least resistance possible. You can move your body. Not necessarily in a press up, but you can adjust it for a way to make it easy for your current fitness level, and you can keep increasing it, make it harder as you want. As we talked about progressive overload, that's the most important thing for getting stronger and building muscle over time. Resistance training is perfect because you can adjust it. If you're very unfit, which is absolutely fine, people are, you want to improve it, and that's fantastic. You can start with a weight machine in the gym, you can start with the absolute lightest, or just start moving your body. It's not like you have to go outside, you don't have to be running, you don't have to have that strain. You can make it as easy as possible, which is fantastic because then you can build up. The most common issue I see with people trying to get in shape who want to but can't is they're overwhelmed and think they haven't got the fitness to start becoming fit. And that can be really paralyzing. It can be really scary and you can get very depressed from that point. Resistance training is brilliant because you can start as light as possible. You don't have to start with any weight. You can start with just moving your body. That's really accessible, it's really empowering in that way as well, and you can improve it and keep increasing and increasing and increasing. It never has to end up being heavy weights in the gym, but it's improving and getting stronger, improving, being your best you over time, progressive overload. Again, please check the article because it's much better than my podcast yesterday. So you might be thinking now, okay, if I want to get stronger, build some muscle, be stronger later in life, I should be resistance training. Thanks, Chris, that's great. But actually I want to lose weight. Well, unfortunately, you're not off the hook. You should also be resistance training as a key, probably the form of exercise I recommend most commonly for people trying to lose weight. In fact, every program I write, every person I work with, does some form of resistance or strength training. So even if you're listening now, you're thinking, I work with Chris, I don't do resistance training or strength training. You do, I just managed to sneak it in a more palatable way to get you doing it. Sorry, not sorry. So anytime you're moving a weight, moving yourself, moving anything at resistance, that is strength training and trying to get stronger over time. So why would you want to do it when you're trying to lose fat? Good question. So what you do is try to build muscle. Every time you're building muscle, you're holding your body to hold on to lean tissue. So when you want to lose weight, you're going to be in a calorie deficit. This just simply means you'll be taking in fewer calories than your body needs to maintain your weight, so your weight will go down. When you're strength training, your body will want to hold on to muscle more, and that's always good. That means the weight you're losing will be fat. This is great because whenever you want to lose a weight loss phase, you want to lose fat and not muscle. Muscle is what makes you strong, it makes your body healthy, gives your body a pleasing shape, okay? You want to hold on to as much muscle as you can. So when you're in a calorie deficit, losing fat, you want to be strength training more than doing cardio because that will teach your body to hold on to the muscle that you have, and that will keep you healthier. That will decrease your body fat percentage. So you'll lower weight, but you'll hold on to the same muscle. You'll be a low percentage, you will be fat, maybe from 20% to 15% fat. That will make a big visual difference and also affect how you perform, how you walk around. You never want to be losing muscle. Some women come to me and want to say, I want to have less muscular arms, or I don't want to get big muscular arms or legs. You'll not become too muscular. I want you to celebrate your body to become strong, what it's capable and what you can do. You'll never regret building muscle. You can always build muscle later on in life, but it will become, and won't lie to you, it will become harder beyond, say, your 40s. So build some muscle now. If you are past your 40s, you're listening to this, you're not beyond hope. You can still build muscle. You can still build strength. Resistance training is even more important for you. And of course, I'll have to say, for the bodybuilders, the powerlifters, the Olympic weightlifters out there, I don't need to preach to you about the benefits of strength training, but I will say, make sure you're progressively overloading, you're eating well. You've got this, you already know this, you're not here for this. So that's my thoughts on strength training, resistance training. That's why I've made it essential to my business. My whole business is called Strength First. I truly believe strength training is the best way to improve your health and will make a big difference to your fitness and your quality of life. So that's all for today. If you're listening to this point, thank you very much. You now know why you should be resistance training, strength training, why strength training isn't a bad word, and why you want to build your body even if you don't want to be a bodybuilder. That's all for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye.